we pay so much in tax dollars, and most of it goes to the military to do funding wars overseas. I don't think it's so crazy to say, hey man, take 1% of that budget and make sure these kids don't go hungry. Take another 1% of that budget and take care of veterans. But you know, like maybe, maybe that's wrong. I just think it's crazy.
I wouldn't disagree with you with that, but I don't disagree with Kirk either. I mean,
so then what the I'm confused. How is it that you can have such right-wing ideologies but say, "Oh, I don't disagree with you, and I also don't disagree with Kirk." So what is your stance? What is your stance on this then? How can you say that you don't disagree with either of them? So what do you believe? And this is one of my main issues with Stevie Knight. Stevie posted this video in response to ABBA's video, and it says, "Damn, ABBA is fake." So without further ado, let's just get into it. What's goody, Logics? I hope I don't crash out.
I cannot say that I saw this coming. Look like ABBA made a follow-up video to our debate the other day when we were debating Kirk issues, and he's titled this video, "This Debate Redpilled Me," but it's the thumbnail, he got a picture of me and him on it. You know what I mean? And you know, ABBA ain't no stranger to doing the extra, so I'm wondering what the angle is, bro, because you know what I mean, I ain't take anything negative from that experience. I thought it was a pretty cordial, productive conversation.
Hold on, I'm confused though, because he's talking as if this is strange behavior from ABBA, because usually when ABBA does like debates or like he has content like one-on-one with somebody, he'll do a follow-up video. This is nothing new at all. Like, this is pretty much he's always done this.
You know what I mean? So yeah, this video was 31 minutes long, man. But let's get it.
Do you agree that there's a lot of parents who neglect those children?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that those kids should suffer because they have bad parents?
Because it makes sense, Logics.
No.
Okay,
I don't think they should, but bad shit happens.
On to the next point.
There's so many people that die from car accidents, bro. You get shit. It's bad up shit happens. Like, we can't save everybody. We can't save everybody, bro. Like, it is.
But just because we can't save everybody doesn't mean we don't try.
Exactly.
We're advocating for kids to take advantage of the surplus of food available to them in different ways that it is.
Yeah.
It's not on somebody to do it, bro. Like, you know, you're shitty parents. I get it, dog. This life. Life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah, but I had a debate with Stevie Knight from Night Talk. He reached out to me to have a discussion after he covered our Kirk video a while back. There's like two parts that really like threw me off a lot.
There should be free school lunch for all children.
No.
Why?
Of course not. Because parents should feed their kids, not the government.
What if they can't?
Let's go get a job.
A child? You
No,
want child
the parents should go get the job. You are a dumb dude. Don't give me this stuff. First of all, this is really
I want children to eat?
Of course I do. Show me a single child in America going hungry. Doesn't exist. It does not exist.
That is just like, I'm sorry, yo. Every time I look at this clip, it blows my mind. To say there isn't a child in America that is going hungry is just fucking insane. Oh my gosh. Hold on, chat. Yo, think about it this way, right? We literally have the term struggle meal. That entire term has been prevalent for like at least a decade and some change. Like, how many times have you guys heard of somebody like having a crazy like struggle meal? It comes from legitimate struggle. There were times where people didn't know like how they were going to get their next meal. This is a serious problem. I can't believe I just fucking thought of that. Yes. Yo, matter of fact, when we were talking about struggle meals when I was in college, right? A dude told me, one of my old friends, he told me that he was so poor. The nigga was eating creamed corn sandwiches, bro. Do you know how poor you have to be? That is the struggle of struggle meals. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so just saying that it doesn't exist is crazy. And also the point where he says, oh yeah, we don't have we don't have like a food problem in America. Like kids are not going hungry. They're just obese. Two things can be true can be true at the same time. We have an obesity problem and we have kids that do not know where their next meal is coming from.
We have a child obesity problem.
So I'm like, if you just Google it, what he said is a blatant lie. But the smugness with which he said that.
Says in the U.S. around 13 to 14 million children experienced food insecurity in recent years, with 1 in 5 children lacking consistent access to enough food.
Yeah.
This condition, known as food insecurity,
See, syrup sandwiches is crazy too.
Families don't have reliable access to enough food. The number has seen a significant increase, with 2022 data showing a rise in child food insecurity, reversing previous declines. But where in that does it say kids are starving?
Oh, come on. Oh, come on, dog. No. Is this the angle that he's going with? No. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Guys, I hate to say it, but we have to give him just a tiny bit of grace here, right? Because to be fair, ABBA was specifically talking about ABBA was specifically using the word starvation, right? He kept saying starvation. So to somebody like Stevie, he took the word starvation and he meant that like literally. Like he meant that like, oh, we're not seeing children out here on the streets that are emaciated. That's how he literally took it. But it's annoying because keep in mind, I don't know ABBA personally, so I don't know what he thought when he said starvation. But when he said food starvation, I knew what he meant, and I know a lot of you knew what he meant as well. But there is one thing when we're talking about like food insecurity, just like with a lot of different other things, it's on a fucking spectrum. Like obviously starvation is at the very end of the spectrum of food insecurity. And honestly, this is a little bit of ABBA's fault because you have to be careful when you're in a debate, because it gives somebody room to pull something off like this where they say, oh, well, you said starvation specifically. Oh my gosh. Then again, it should be common sense though, right? Most people would know that there isn't an actual like starvation problem in America. Like everybody knows that. Food insecurity, yes, but starvation is very rare. I'm so mad that he went with this angle because a part of me feels like you knew what he was trying to say, but I can't really say too much because he very well could have took it literally.
We can't be switching words out now, man. Food insecurity is entirely different than starving. That was the question posed in that debate with Kirk. And even with addressing this topic, I mean, I haven't seen where he's going with it, bro, but this video was one of the videos Alba cherry-picked to manufacture a narrative about Kirk trying to highlight him as disgusting. So, like, we're moving the goalposts and discussing a different topic.
Okay, all right. Saying he moved the goalposts is a little bit disingenuous, don't you think? Because that could be, like, a simple miscommunication between the two parties. Like ABBA's saying starving, but he means something else. Because usually when people say starving, they are not talking about children that are actually emaciated. So I do feel like he's being a little bit disingenuous here.
He doesn't take, you know what, I'm going to wait before I get ahead of what's going on here, man, because he may address it. But yeah, it says food insecurity, bro. It doesn't say people starving. No, let me ask ChatGPT and see how many people are actually starving in America, because I don't even need to look up the stat. I know I'm 99.9.
But that's not what he was arguing. Like in the debate, Abba wasn't arguing that that children are literally like skin and bones. That's not what he was arguing. He was arguing that there are a bunch of families and a lot of children that do not know where their next meal is coming from, and that is a problem. It's still a problem. Whether we're honestly, this is all semantics at this point, because it's still a problem. Like, there should not be a reason as to why a child doesn't know when they're going to eat again. Like, that's terrible.
I'm 100% sure that we do not have a starvation problem in America. Is there a child? You know what? I ain't gonna leave it open like that. How many children are starving? I'm trying to be objective about this. I don't want to be a leading question into, my bias. How many children are suffering from starving in America? 14 million children in the U.S. live in food insecure households in 2023.
Yes.
What the fuck does food insecure mean? A bit more detail on what those words mean. Most official counts use the term food insecure, not the clinical word starving. Food insecurity means a household sometimes lacked enough money or resources or other resources for adequate food. It ranges from worrying about running out of food to skipping meals.
Which is bad. We all can agree that is bad. That is a serious problem. And chat gave you 13 to 14 million children not knowing where food is going. That is still a problem. That's a huge fucking problem.
According to USDA, ERS, and major anti-hunger groups, nearly 14 million children live in a food insecure household in 2023. That represented about 1 child in 5 experiencing some level of food insecurity during the year. Local conditions vary a lot. Some countries and communities have much higher child food insecurity rates. Important distinction: starving describes severe malnutrition and is relatively rare in the U.S. The larger measurable problem is food insecurity.
That is on the very end of the food insecurity spectrum. That's at the very end. Come on, man.
People missing meals, cutting portion sizes, or not having reliable access to nutritious food. Surveys show many parents skip or reduce their own meals to feed children, so child hunger is a serious public health and developmental issue.
Child hunger is a serious public health and developmental issue. Yes, listen to what chat just gave you.
Even if full clinical starvation is uncommon. I mean, so we're talking about 2 different things, but
we're not though. You're not. It's still a problem. Why is he acting like it's not a problem?
For the
chat, am I tripping?
I guess I'll give him this food insecure point he's trying to make, man, but that wasn't the question that was posed to Kurt. Like, we don't have a starvation problem. You know what I mean? Skipping meals, not getting, the nutritious meals, bodies require. It's another conversation.
Okay,
At
thank
the
you.
same time, we talking about schools providing the foods, and I don't know how familiar y'all are with the actual food that these public schools give children at the cafeteria, bro. It ain't the highest of quality, right? And that's a whole different conversation.
What does that have to do with anything when you're the one that said you don't like government involvement? What does that have to do with anything? Why are you acting like you care about the quality of food that are being fed to the children when you specifically said you do not care about government, or you do not like government involvement?
Anyway, I want to continue before I start nitpicking this shit like crazy.
What he said is a blatant lie. But the smugness with which he said that stuff, he's like, well, the parents should pay. Well, we all know there's bad parents out there. We all know there's like parents who neglect their kids, parents who go on drugs, whatever it could be. And Stevie was like aggressively defending this stance. Go get food stamps. You can get food at churches. There's no reason to starve. Do you remember that?
Yeah, there's no reason to starve in America. It's like 1% of households, what I say, starve. This is food insecurity. Starving and food insecurity are entirely 2 different things.
Not yes and no. Yes and no. You can't really say they're entirely two different things. For real, for real. It's a part of a spectrum. I don't know how many times I have to say this. And for you Stevie Knight fans that are going to come in the comments when I repost this VOD, a lot of you know about being on the spectrum. I'm just saying. But come on, man. I just hate that he's acting like it's not a problem. It's a problem.
Saw the stat. It says starvation is extremely uncommon, extremely rare in America, but they came up with a new definition or a new
Thank you,
problem
Soulshine.
labeled food insecurity, which means you may not have adequate food available. You may skip meals. You're still eating. You're not starving. That's a different problem, man. So we're moving the goalpost. We're moving the goalpost. I wish we could have gotten this conversation during the debate and not trying to do this.
I'm not gonna lie. I really wish, because this seems like this was. It seems like this was like real miscommunication between the two here. I really do wish this could have been cleared up in the debate. I really hope that Stevie. Not hope. I really wish that Stevie like pressed Abba on this a little more. Was like, so you really think children are out here emaciated? If he said something like that, then I'm sure Abba would have been like, oh no, it's just that kids don't know where they're gonna get their next meal. A lot of kids. I wish it could have been cleared up too, because this video probably wouldn't even exist.
You know, after the fact shit, man. But yeah, this is cap. All right, this is cap.
Like I guess. Technically a hunger issue, bro, but people are not starving to death in America, bro. Motherfuckers are fat as hell.
But I remember just throwing me off because I'm like, what possesses an adult to look like a 7-year-old? And like I said, there's 14 million kids suffer from food scarcity. That means they don't know where they're gonna get their next meal. I went to school with niggas like that. Y'all didn't go to school with nobody.
Okay, so that tells me Abba knew exactly what he was talking about. That tells me exactly. Abba is not saying starving like every kid. Or all these kids, like these 13 and 14 million kids, are starving. He knows what he's talking about. God damn it. Yeah, this was just miscommunication. What's up, Dow?
Just sometimes they would show up and they didn't have a lunch, and the teacher would sometimes have to fill in if they would. But I remember some
I gotta
lunches.
say this again, bro. You clearly saw me state that there is no starvation problem in America. Children are not emaciated. When I'm talking about this, I'm thinking of the likes of like famine. You know what I mean? Skinny extremities, popped out bellies.
I really wish you cleared that up during the debate. I really wish.
Starving. People in America do not know what starving feels like. We don't suffer from that. Anyway.
The kids didn't get shit. They used to have to eat out of other kids' boxes. And, you know, people are like, oh, what's wrong with skipping a meal? When you're in development, it's bad. It stunts their growth. Their academic scores are lower on average as well.
It is hard to believe, but a government report out tonight says more than 17 million American children don't know where their next meal is coming from. Many count on school food programs, but what happens now that school is out?
And then afterwards, Stevie's like, well,
if homeless are hungry, they can go get some fucking food.
That's crazy.
Food stamps, bro.
The homeless don't go hungry, bro. They can go get a meal if they want to get a meal.
You're comparing children to homeless. Have you not been a child before? Do you think kids know where to? Yeah, but the teacher
call parties that do this for a living to find children the resources that they need. Like teachers do this all the time. They'll see a child that may be neglected and they'll make the call to alert people to, you know, intervene.
You want to call child services? You want to put them in foster care?
It may be better than having the shooty ass parents.
Have you?
Absolutely not. In a lot of cases, absolutely not. Not saying that isn't the case sometimes, but putting a child in the system, honestly, I would love to avoid that as much as possible. Like, you guys do not some of you guys do not realize how much these children actually, like, you do not realize like what they actually go through when they are put in the system. Like, I would not want a kid to go through that.
Looked into foster care, Stevie. Have you Googled foster care?
Foster care is terrible.
You're describing these parents as ain't shit, bro. Like, it is bad shit happens.
You want the teacher to wait till the kid's like emaciated and clearly skinny? You know what I mean? It's
that's
crazy.
what I'm saying. I was like, okay, this.
How am I saying we're waiting for the kids to be emaciated? Teachers are aware of, well, good teachers are aware of their students' conditions, man. And if they notice something off, Yeah, I mean, maybe they may notice a child looking extra hungry. It's the same thing as like they notice, a child that may be getting abused.
No.
At the home, they're gonna make calls necessary to rectify the situation.
No, absolutely not. So he compared a kid starving to a kid basically being abused, right? Well, the only issue with that is one of those issues is external while the other one is internal. And don't get me wrong, teachers are trained to notice like particular signs of like abuse or neglect. They are. However, a teacher may not be able to directly tell if a child is hungry or starving unless they actually tell them. And you said it yourself. You said there are like little to no children in America that are emaciated, meaning they are not showing, they're not skin and bone. They're not showing that they're hungry. So how the fuck do you expect it? You totally contradict yourself. How do you expect a teacher to see that?
See a child that may look like they're hungry, you know what I mean? They're eating super aggressive at the cafeteria, or maybe they're, going through other people's food or whatnot. Like, teachers are able to observe. You know what I mean? But like, we're being nitpicky at the end of the day, because, the beginning of this conversation, we were comparing, and I'm sure he's going to leave that part out. We were comparing, maybe I brought it up. Oh, he brought it up. He said, how was Kirk?
My wife made a good point. She said a lot of teachers don't report abuse either when they do notice it. So that's not even reliable. That's very true. That's true.
The same person that is, pro-life and anti-abortion, so inconsiderate of the children that are, suffering from, I don't know if it was food insecurity or food uncertainty, whatever label they created for that. Right?
Why is it that like he's trying to belittle the term now? Like, oh, whatever word that they created for that now. They always making up new shit. Like, nah, don't belittle the word food insecurity. Yes.
And I posed the question. I said, well, what do you think's worse? Abortion, the amount of abortions in America, or the kids starving?
Oh my God.
I'll provide that clip so y'all can see when I pose that question. I haven't even looked up the stats. Just know, literally to the sense of starvation.
That's not what, yes, we know that. Everybody knows that, but that's not what Abba was arguing, obviously.
I saw ChatGPT said starving is almost non-existent in America, bro.
Do you guys even Google this stuff? Do you guys even look into it? But you speak confidently against this stuff that's hurting hundreds and thousands of kids. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I'll ask you a question. Which one is higher, the amount of abortions in America or the amount of starving children in America?
The amount of starving kids in America.
Oh, that's cap.
That's cap? Did you Google it? Did you Google it?
I'm so frustrated, man.
You don't need facts. But you know what? Facts don't care about how you feel. I need you to Google it.
Okay. I'll Google it. Well, somebody Google it in the chat, bro. But if we're pushing the goalposts and saying children that are not getting their meals or don't know where their next meal is coming from, that's another conversation to be had.
Oh my gosh! You know what? No, I don't know, man. I am trying to be good faith here. I am trying to be, but it's like you knew. A part of me feels like he knew what the fuck Abba was trying to say and what he was actually talking about. There's no way in hell. Obviously I don't know that for sure. So whatever.
Starving. Right. Americans don't know what starving is. We don't know what starving is, man, but I see what he's doing here. He's playing semantics and
he's playing semantics. You're literally doing that right now. You are doing that in real time right now. When Abba, yes, he was saying starving, but he literally said, yo, kids do not know where they're going to get their next meal from. That's not he wasn't necessarily saying all kids are starving or all those children that were being referred to were starving. Come on, bro.
Moving the goalpost with this conversation, bro.
Be right just to be right. What are we doing? Is that what you think the kid is gonna go out? Oh yeah, you know what? My lunch break. Let me go to this food bank real quick. Or hop in my car and go. Oh no, why am I even trying to say this to someone? It's like you don't know teachers. You don't know what teachers do. You haven't never been to school.
Tron has a good point. He said he also clarified food scarcity during the debate, but he did. But I don't know if he did it in a way that was like very apparent to Stevie, if that makes any sense. Like with somebody like Stevie, you have to like just stop the conversation and be like, I am talking about mainly, when I say starvation, I mainly mean food scarcity. Like we know that by what Abba is saying, obviously, but for somebody like Stevie, of course he's not going to catch on.
It's okay to be wrong and say like, you know what? Hey, you're right.
Exactly, Tron.
And then afterwards, it kept getting colder and colder. He's like,
yes, he was using the terms interchangeably. Exactly.
All these EBT stamps, you get food stamps. I'm like, you want a 10-year-old to get food stamps? Like, y'all know. And then it kept going. And at one point, he just said, well, listen, man, it is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the world's not perfect, dog. It's not utopia, bro. So it's like, I get, and then I'm a capitalist, dog. I'm not in support of the government coming out taking care of everything. I know it's a problem. I never said what I want to do about it. I could care less.
Damn.
Like, it is what it is, dog. This life is fucking hard, dog. And some children are born in fucked up circumstances, bro. It is what it is.
But to kids not having access to food, shit happens.
That's so crazy.
I remember why, thinking like now with hindsight, I remember why this moment really stuck out to me. It's like, if you talk like that about kids not having access to food, is it any wonder why people think you guys are monsters?
Yes.
I don't agree with it. I think it's an abhorrent view to hold. But this is the extremism that leads to somebody like Charlie Kirk getting shot.
Bruh, here we go, bro. He taking me out of context again. See, I ain't shit. He ain't shit, bro. I thought he was shit, but he ain't shit. You know what I mean? Because this whole conversation
Stop.
was about Kirk and how he.
I did not realize, Chad, how many people actually do not know what it means to be taken out of context. Just because I don't play a full clip, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm taking you out of context. If I have to give an example, right? Let me see. I'll use somebody in the chat. Matter of fact, I'll make this easy, right? Logix, right? I'll use Logix as an example. So let's say me and Logix are beefing right now, right? And I randomly said that he a kid diddler and he likes kids. And I went to a previous video of his where he said, oh yeah, I love children. I really like kids. And I cut that up. And I was like, see, this is Logix admitting that he likes children. He likes to diddle kids. That is taking something out of context. Was that a silly example? Yes, but it was the best that I could do off the top of my head. He said, man, why I have to be the example? But yeah, that is an example of taking somebody out of context. I don't think Stevie knows what it means to be taken out of context. So what I was saying, if we are going to use that Charlie Kirk clip for an example, right? Because he kept asking Abba, oh, well, did you play the rest of the clip? Do you play the rest of the clip? The rest of the clip did not help Charlie Kirk's argument at all. Like, just because you cut something off, it doesn't mean I'm taking you out of context. If I cut the rest of the clip off, it's because the rest of the clip is fucking irrelevant. It's irrelevant and it's too long. Like, it has nothing to do with my point. Like, it's not taking, like, for example, that Charlie Kirk clip about him saying there needs to be like some gun deaths in order to preserve the Second Amendment. What he said after that was irrelevant. All that was irrelevant. Anyway, I digress.
Nah, it's just Kirk, right? When he posed the question to me, I said I wouldn't be against the government if that passed, right? It is what it is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be against it, but I'm not going to demonize Kirk for having this stance, and I understand Kirk's perspective, bro, but he just running with the, I guess, the negative shit that I don't know. This must have got to him. You know what I mean? Because it ain't like I'm some big ass YouTuber or some big ass personality on YouTube that's gonna get him views. Like,
wait a minute. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I said before, this is something that Abba does after a debate. But yeah, take Abba's video after a debate as like a debrief, right? He does this all the time. This is nothing new. And for him to say like, oh yeah, this must have really bothered him because, you know, I'm a smaller YouTuber. Nigga, no, you not. No, you are not. You have a channel with 1 million subs. And I think he has another one with like 600,000, 500,000, whatever. Why are you trying to act like you're a smaller YouTuber, sir? I am a smaller YouTuber. You cannot claim, and that seems like what he's about to do here. It seems like he's about to basically be like, oh, Abba's doing this for clout. Man, act like he at 3,000. That's what I'm saying, Logix. Like, bro, I am a smaller creator, but he's taking the angle of saying, oh, Abba is doing this because of clout and blah, blah. That's basically what he wants. Let me not say that. That's bad faith. But let me say, it seems like that's the angle that he wants to take here.
This really must have struck him the wrong way. So he must have only heard what he wanted to hear. I wouldn't be against the government if they budgeted that for it, right? But I'm not going to demonize Kirk for his stance because I understand it.
We pay so much in tax dollars, and most of it goes to the military to do funding wars overseas. I don't think it's so crazy to say, hey, man, take 1% of that budget and make sure these kids don't go hungry. Take another 1% of that budget and take care of veterans. But,
Sure.
you know, maybe
But
that's wrong. I just think it's crazy.
I wouldn't disagree with you with that, but I don't disagree with Kirk either. I mean,
So then what the I'm confused. How is it that you can have such right-wing ideologies but say, "Oh, I don't disagree with you, and I also don't disagree with Kirk." So what is your stance? What is your stance on this then? How can you say that you don't disagree with either of them? So what do you believe? And this is one of my main issues with Stevie Knight.
I think he should be painted as a demon for having that viewpoint.
I mean, I think it's pretty demonic to not want kids to have meals. Personally,
He never said he
Absolutely.
didn't want kids that have meals. Is that the only conversation you see discussing that topic?
Food or have malnutrition, get food. He said, "No, that's fucking stupid."
Can you answer my question though? Was that the only video did you let that video play and see what else he said in regards to that discussion?
Yeah, I played it.
And what did he say?
He said that he thinks that the parents should take care of it.
No, he said pull it up right now.
We have churches, we have food shelters, we have billions, and it does not exist. We have a child obesity problem, not a child starvation problem in this country. That 50% of our kids are obese or overweight. There's not a single kid in America that has died of starvation in the last 10 years. Show me that kid. Show me. This is a propaganda thing from the Democrat Party. Our kids are so overweight, they have type 2 diabetes by the age of 8. So the number one problem for kids right now is that they're not moving enough and they're eating too much, not that there's child starvation. Instead, let's get back to a time where we say, hey, parents feed your kids, churches feed your kids, communities feed your kids, not big daddy government coming in and doing what the family should do. With that, I say thank you guys so much and have a great...
So again, let me say this one more time. Can two things not be true at the same time? Can we have a food scarcity issue while we are having an obesity issue? Yes.
And I'm going to reiterate, there's government programs that literally focus on this, right? And I don't know what is available for children or whatnot, man. But even at this point, right, we're semantics, like moving the goalposts. I was talking about children starving, all right? That's what I said, children starving. But anyway, let's continue.
This kind of like bad faith, almost like mean-spirited. It's like, I don't understand what's Christian about that either. And that's not yours pushing, but Charlie is like, we have kids that are suffering. You guys are like super anti-abortion, pro-life. You guys want to preserve. Then these kids come out and there's like this smug attitude of like,
I'm pro-life. I'm pro-life. But if you're hungry, man, shit happens.
And if we're being honest, the comparison between abortions and food insecurity, it's a stupid argument, dog, because
you made the argument. Hey, Hey, chat, am I stupid? Am I going crazy? Was Stevie not the one to make this argument? He was the one that asked Abba. He said, what do you think is worse? Starvation or abortions? Am I... Help. Help. Please. Please help. Huh? Yo, I'm so confused. How can you say it's stupid when you were the one that bought? Nigga, did you forget?
It's a stupid argument, dog, because regardless of these children's circumstances, they still have the ability to live. So what are we talking about?
Bro, this makes no sense.
What are we talking about? Why are we comparing killed babies to...
We? You. I know you can speak French, nigga. I did not know that. Niggas in Paris, I did not know that you could... You did this.
Babies that are alive. Nobody in America is dying from starvation. We ain't about to do this, bro. We could have...
Logic, thank you. Logic said killed babies is crazy for someone that isn't pro-life. Thank you. Yes, that is crazy. Well, Logic, at the same time, he doesn't have a stance, remember? He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Talked about all this shit.
Even though he has pro-life talking points.
Bro, so I don't know if he slept on it, something bothered his ass, bro, but this shit is...
Do you agree there's a lot of...
This shit is whack, bro, because like you said, he's taking me out of context. What you did with Kirk. I'm not even trying to have bad blood with this fool. Not even that fucking serious, bro. But like this shit don't come across as genuine. So what I'm gonna do is pull up our conversation, bro, and I'll just let it speak for itself.
You said it was different in your video because Charlie Kirk died on camera and nobody was supposed to see that. Remember that you saying that?
I'm confused though, because I remember this part in the debate. What does this have to do with the conversation about food scarcity? Now we moved on to Charlie Kirk being unalived in front of the internet. Like I'm so confused.
Yeah.
Right. To me, I understand that the fact that he died on camera makes it much more graphic, much more in your face. But at the end of the day, murder is murder. Dying is dying.
But it's the effect that it has on society. It's not the same. In a vacuum, it's the same. But if people were able to see that video until the end of time now, right? They're able to see that man go out the way that he did, and knowing up until this, I can't compare someone else that had the amount of influence Kirk had. You know what I mean? If he hadn't been murdered in front of everyone at once, your analogy, your comparison would be fair, man. But you can't minimize that.
If Kirk's not killed on camera, more or less tragic.
It's less tragic.
So dying on camera makes a murder worse?
No, not the murder worse, but the effect that has on the people is worse because everybody can see it.
I don't know, man. Like it's like when you hear stupid shit, you start to question your own intelligence, because what he said, and I'm not trying to talk crazy or anything, but what he said is indeed stupid, because Malcolm X, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., all of these people were shot, and people have heard about it across the nation, right? And it had a crazy impact. It's especially Malcolm and Martin. So it being on camera is totally irrelevant. The fact that it happened in general, that is the part that is the most important. Matter of fact, nobody is having conversations online about, oh man, this Charlie Kirk shit is big because it happened on camera. Nobody's making that point. Matter of fact, that was a secondary conversation that I had on my Charlie Kirk video. That was a secondary conversation because I said we should not be able to easily see another man get unalived that easily. That is a secondary conversation. There have been a lot of people that have died and we haven't seen it on camera that created an impact. What are you talking about? Mike Brown is another one. Thank you.
Different than watching a news report and you hear about somebody that had something happen to them that was grotesque as opposed to actually seeing it, because this people are going through trauma with this right now. Kids saw this. It's nowhere near the same as anybody else.
That's the effect that it has on you as an individual. But yeah, the tragedy is the same. The tragedy.
I disagree with you on that.
How?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna disagree.
Yeah.
If my father dies on camera or doesn't die on camera, at the end of the day, he died. Somebody took my person away from
So
me.
you don't think the fact that everybody can see your father die and have that accessible 24/7 on social media is not going to make the situation any different than having him die?
No, it makes it different. It makes it different, but from a moral standpoint, it's the same. There's no difference in morality.
Well, morality is a different conversation. I'm talking about tragedy. I'm talking about the effects it's having on society.
Yeah, but if I'm talking about other murders, if I'm talking about other murders, I'm talking about the moral aspect of it.
Right. Also, what Stevie is talking about is happening more on a personal level than anything, right? Because I can honestly, I can tell you guys, I can be very transparent. Like, I saw the Charlie Kirk shooting. I saw him get shot in the neck. And yeah, it bothered me because I saw another man get unalived on camera. But that bothered me on a personal level, obviously, because I'm not used to seeing something like that. But if I just tell somebody that happens, which I did, I told my mom that it happened. She saw on the news that he died. She still prayed for him and his family. Like, she still felt bad that it happened. That's what Abba is saying right now. This should not be that hard to comprehend.
Whether it happens in front of 100 people, 10 people, a school, it doesn't really matter to me. Murder is murder. All political violence to me that happens for political reasons are equally bad, whether they happen. That's how I feel about it. You might disagree with that.
And I'd imagine a lot are going to disagree with that perspective as well, man. The fact that you can see it, you can hear about somebody that died by the guillotine, but then actually seeing it is going to be totally different. And with kids, college campus, in front of his babies, in front of his wife, the whole world see that, bro, is entirely different.
It's different in the impact that it has on the viewer.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. That's my whole point, and that's why it's more tragic.
It's not more
But that doesn't mean that we can't contextualize it with those other murders. You say it's not comparable, but I disagree. They died for the same reason.
If you had related that way, trying to bring up the similarities and how you conveyed it just now, it would make more sense. But that's not at all how you conveyed it in the video. It came from, a leftist bias type of perspective from my end, that you were trying to minimize it by bringing up other similarities. You didn't bring anything up about it being moral or same morally. You were just saying, to summarize it, Kirk died, everybody else died, and this happens with political violence. That's pretty much what you said.
Because what I'm getting at is not how he died, or like in front of who that he died. What I'm focused on is why
he died.
Yes. I don't personally care that he was killed on a live stream or in a pre-recorded video.
Do you think you're the anomaly with that perspective?
No. Okay, hold up. Chat. So there is 228 people in this live stream right now. If you agree with Abba, please just put I agree in the chat. Just put I agree. Because there are not a lot of people that are going to agree with Stevie on this. It doesn't matter whether it happened on camera or on social media or not. It's the fact that it happened in general. I said everybody put I agree. Asura says I hate Stevie. God damn. But see, exactly. Everybody is agreeing, man. Not going to be that many people that agree with you on this take. Well, actually, I lied about that because, when it comes to... And I would assume this happens with every big content creator. Like, things become somewhat of an echo chamber at some point. And when it comes to Stevie Knight fans, they be gassing him up even when he's dead wrong.
You think that most people don't care that he died online?
I think that's the reason why it went viral for sure. Mm-hmm. But that's not why they care. You don't care about this topic because what I'm asking you is, you say you don't care that he died on live stream. And I'm asking you, do you think most people don't care that he died on live stream? No. Most people are focused on the fact that he was killed for political reasons. That's what people care about.
Correct.
No one's outraged by this whole thing because it happened on camera.
I'm not saying that they're outraged. I'm just saying that adds more nuance. It makes it worse because of that.
But that's in the background. That's not that important. What's really important is that he was killed for political reasons.
Logic said it wasn't a live stream, Mr. Starvation.
That's the focus. That's not just a little bit. That's 99% of the focus. None of the coverage that we've been seeing lately is because, like, can you believe that people die on camera? Nobody's talking about.
But that's not my argument.
Everyone's talking about.
Come on, bro. That's not my argument, dog. I'm not saying that it's only important because it happened on camera. I'm saying it's worse than everything else that's happened thus far because it happened the way that it did.
Okay, yeah, I think we'll agree to disagree. I don't think someone dying on camera makes it worse. I think a tragedy, death is death, murder is murder. If you are murdered by somebody on camera in front of a body, so
you
nobody
don't think
sees it.
So I played the whole thing. You didn't take nothing out of context.
But what the that have to do with anything? Hold up. Okay, hey, chat, be honest. Did I miss something? What did that have to do with anything? Because previously we were talking about food scarcity. What does that have to do with anything? He said, I played the whole thing. Okay, yeah, and? I hate. This is why I hate reacting to slow shit sometimes. I hate reacting to slow shit because then I start to feel like I'm slow. I'm like, am I the dumb one? Am I the stupid one?
So you tell me what's worse. You know, what just described, or the fact that someone, I don't even know what word to describe that as, demented enough. Is that the correct word? Or desensitized enough, or?
You should have stuck with demented.
I don't know what it is, bro, but for someone to say that this assassination happening publicly for the entire world to see, does not make this incident more tragic, and it's no different than any other murder, is asinine. That's probably
what the fuck, guys. This is him. He reaching. I ain't never seen anybody reach like this ever before in my life. He is reaching. Oh my gosh. Because not only did this not have anything to do with what he was previously talking about, but he is actually fucking like he's trying to be right about something. This is so stupid because his entire argument falls apart when you start talking about figures like Malcolm and Martin. Like, this is so stupid. That shit wasn't recorded. It wasn't recorded, but it was impactful when they died, when everybody heard that there were literal riots when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. died. Riots. No social media. What are you talking about?
Problematic. Of course, it's bad because from political violence, but it's much worse that the entire world saw this man get clipped the way that he did. It was fucking tragic. People are not meant to see that. Murder is murder. It's absolutely not the case. The severity of the actions, the grotesqueness of the actions. And
you know what? I find it very interesting because if that's the case, I wonder why he didn't talk about that the Irina Zaruska chick that got unalived in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is very interesting.
Top of the fact, people were able to see it. Children were able to see it. Students were able to see it. Mothers and fathers were able to see it. It absolutely makes the situation worse. That's much more severe of a societal issue that we're struggling with as a whole, because we've been desensitized to things, to shit on what happened to Charlie Kirk the way that he did and say it's no different than anything else, and him being assassinated publicly like that doesn't make anything worse, bro. I pose a question to y'all, man. Charlie Kirk dying the way that he did,
what the fuck happened with this video?
Being shot down the way that he did, does that make his situation worse? Does that impact society more?
No.
Are people traumatized more? Are people gonna have bad dreams more? Are those images gonna be burnt in the back of people's minds more? It's entirely different from, you know, back in the day, a death row inmate dying from the death penalty from the chair, and you read about it, but then to actually see it, come on, man. Come on, man. It's absolutely different reading the amount.
Wow. I am so fucking confused here, man. Like, I don't even know what else to say about this because it got so dumb so fast.
Of abortions that take place in America, but to actually see an abortion take place, the visual is absolutely different. Really see it. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's absolutely different reading the amount of abortions that take place in America, but to actually see an abortion take place, the visual provided, bro.
To hear about abortions taking place, that's one thing, but to actually see it is another. This is such a stupid statement, because if I had a choice between watching somebody get an abortion and watching somebody getting unalived in the neck, getting shot in the neck, I'm going to pick the abortion 20 times over. What the fuck are you talking about? Why? Wait, hold on. Why are we acting like an abortion is such a grotesque like operation? What is going on?
Makes the game entirely different, dog. Makes the game entirely different, bro, because we're humans. We're not meant to see that shit, and we can empathize much more when we have the action take place in front of us. So to shit on that and say it's equal to just any murder, absolutely not, bro. Absolutely not. Honestly, it made me think about, what things Abba has experienced.
I'm so confused. Also, he talks about, for somebody that doesn't have an actual stance about abortion, my guy, you are bringing it up quite frequently.
Personally, to address it that way. I mean, like, you have to be desensitized. You have to have to humanize people to a certain point to say, nah, it ain't no different than me reading a headline saying somebody got shot. Right? Nah, bro. It's entirely different. But yeah, this was whack. This was whack. All right, got some more time. I'm gonna try to get through the rest of this. All right.
And I remember hearing that, and then I asked that about him, and he's like, yeah, I feel like the right is a bit more logical and things like that.
Time out. So this man isn't even reacting to the entire video, I'm guessing. For anybody that watched this video, please confirm if I'm right or wrong. This man did not even react to the entire video.
Yeah. You said the left is more emotional, so I feel like you think the right is more logical.
Yeah, I'd agree with that take.
Okay. And as we discussed the whole topic of good versus evil, there's a portion of it that's really interesting.
Thought so.
The cancer needs to be cut out, bro. Ain't no talking to them. And it needs to be. Get these motherfuckers out of here. It is war because ain't no talking to them. Ain't nothing you say to them. They need to be deterred. They need to be controlled. They need to be exiled, decapitated, whatever your cup of tea is, bro.
That's what he said in the original. Yeah. Now, I'm going to be super good faith and think he was being hyperbolic and emotional at the time, and he didn't mean to say that we shouldn't take off the heads of people who said this stuff. But I'm going to just assume that. I'm going to be very good faith thinking he was just being spur of the moment. Let's listen.
I told him what I meant. I said I was just saying things to make everyone that felt what I was saying feel heard. But whatever, bro. Whatever.
Huh? One more time. What?
Spur of the moment. Let's listen.
I told him what I meant. I said I was just saying things to make everyone that felt what I was saying feel heard.
Jesus Christ.
I said I was just saying things to make everyone that felt what I was saying feel heard. But whatever.
That don't make no sense to me. Chat. Does that make any sense to y'all? What the are you even talking about? What are you talking about? Does that make sense? Please. Yes or no? And if I'm tripping, please let me know. It doesn't make any sense. You said what you said because you were feeling a little bit emotional. And that's okay.
Whatever. This is some sensitive shit.
I'm a disagree with you. I think people
exactly. So Tanya said, so you said what people wanted you to hear. Exactly.
Do evil things aren't necessarily evil. I think sometimes they're hurt. I think sometimes they are in a really bad place. I think sometimes these are folks that, and it's almost ironic too, because I do believe that people should be punished for the things that they do and they should suffer those consequences, but I don't think they're irredeemable. Labeling someone evil, I think, is a way for us to look at something and then simplify it. But the reality is that things are complex. People are complex, and the reason why they get to that place is very difficult. You know, there's plenty of people who were white supremacists or part of horrible gangs and came back from it. There's how many people went to gangs and later on went to be the kind of people who keep kids out of gangs. Horrible things and came back from it. Same thing on the left side. Went to be the kind of people who keep kids out of gangs.
Oh, right. So the example that Abba gave was perfect, right? Because you could argue that they have previously done some crazy shit, and a lot of those people have been reformed. There are some gang members that have been reformed, and they are trying to get other people and other kids not to be in gangs, obviously. So yeah, you can't talk evil people off of the ledge.
Things and came back from it. Same thing on the left side.
They better get back from it before it's too late. That's what
Nah,
I'm saying.
I ain't saying it.
Because I ain't got time to care about why they are that they are.
Now, just before we keep going with this, I should also be accountable in the way that I engage in discourse. Because plenty of times where I have probably written people off out of frustration because you just see a lot of shit every day. We all have those feelings. The important part is that when we're talked back from that ledge, we don't stay there. Because the moment you start looking at people and looking at large swaths of people and saying they need to lose their freedoms, they need to do this. Listen, y'all can think it's despicable. I agree it's just despicable. I agree there's a lot of bad things, but it doesn't mean that these people should lose their freedoms. Because then we go into a place now where you are now criminalizing things that aren't criminal. They might be abhorrent. They might be views you don't agree with, but part of living in a free society means that the views that you have, you're allowed to hold them and still be free.
Exactly.
Now, we might not employ you, we might cancel you, but this idea that we're going to bring violence, that we're going to bring police officers, we're going to put you in jail because we don't like what you stand for, understand how that can be used for persecution.
Abba is disingenuous as shit, bro.
How?
What the fuck, dog?
What did
This
he
is
say?
Crazy, man. I don't know. I can't. It's like, were we having the same conversation, bro?
Hold up. Time out. So again, Chad, I'm sorry. I have to confirm with you guys, right? Because in that monologue, Abba wasn't specifically, I thought it was obvious that Abba wasn't specifically talking about Stevie here. He was talking about I could interpret it as he was talking about people like Stevie and that align with his views. He wasn't specifically talking about Stevie.
You know what I mean? My whole point in that conversation was there's no talking to them. That's all I said. There's no talking to them. You know what I mean? And he's trying to take this moral high ground saying that, you know, I'm saying that people should not be allowed to say what they say, right? Depending upon what you say and what is done from what you're saying you're gonna do, right? You deserve to get your freedom taken. I mean, or you say the wrong thing to somebody can hold you accountable. I mean, you say talking shit, you're gonna have to back up that shit you talking at some point. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, bro, it's just eye-opening. It's eye-opening to me, bro. The fact that he's taking things entirely out of context, trying to present a narrative when you can go see the conversation for yourself. I mean, if you want to cherry.
Okay, so this lets me know he really doesn't understand what it means to be taken out of context. Now, exactly, explicit. Thank you very much. Exactly. See, a lot of the people that are in the Discord, by the way, if you haven't joined the Discord, make sure that you join the Discord. But a lot of people in the Discord, see, they love to take me out of context, right? They love to make fun of me, you know? Like, I'll say something and then they'll make it. That's taking something out of context. But me not playing a full clip isn't necessarily me taking you out of context.
Picking different points of the conversation to manufacture a narrative, bro. That's the whole problem we had with Charlie Kirk, bro. You picking and choosing what you want to focus on and taking all the context out of it, bro. I label all these motherfuckers as evil, and there's nothing you can do with these evil motherfuckers, bro. You know what I mean? At one point, he said, well, if it's possible for these people's minds to be at some point do with, you know, time, patience, or whatnot, are they truly evil? All right, yeah. But that, You know what I'm saying? He's being contrarian at that point. That's not even that wasn't the point. The point is we got some evil, sadistic motherfuckers at this point right now who don't deserve any of my time and a lot of others' time by the energy, by the things, by the demonic, evil things that they're spewing online, that they're spewing in public. You know what I mean? To me personally, in regards to someone's life being taken, bro, it's like there's no talking to some people. There may be some talking if you know what I'm saying, a nun that can sit there and waste your time talking to a wall at some point. But these fools have to go on their own fucking journey. I dropped a whole video about it, bro. Like some people you just can't talk to. Let them die on that sword, bro. All this kumbaya shit, it's not reality, dog. That's why wars take place. You know what I mean? That's why countries don't like each other. That's why people don't like each other, bro. Differences in opinion, and if you say the wrong shit, you do the wrong thing, there's consequences, repercussions for it. All this, bruh, I don't know. I ain't got time, dog. I'm gonna go for a little bit more, bruh, but taking me out of context is diabolical.
Someday you might be a religious person. What if the country becomes much more liberal?
Time out. Okay, wait. There was a part in this video. Where Abba literally talked about taking people out of context. There was a part in this video. Please tell me he goes over that part.
Or much more atheist. You might be the person who they come for one day and call evil. This is definitely the time where you want to tone that kind of stuff down. Now, I know it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here on my soapbox and pretend I'm perfect. I've done it myself. But this is the emotional side of things. You know, when we talk about people being emotional, this is called being emotional. You might feel justified, you might feel righteous, but the moment you just say, everybody who did this is just evil, then what that happens is that going after these people becomes justice. If you hurt them, it's not bad because it's justice. You smited evil.
All right,
that's all we got to do.
Yeah, Abba ain't shit. He ain't shit, bro. I got to pull up another snippet. Something I just posted, bro. I told the fool in the middle of the conversation, dog, you trying to put words on me. Say, you being emotional. You thinking with your whatever. Nah, dog. I said it's logical for me to cut these people off because it would be a waste of time communicating with these people. That's why I don't.
That's an emotion. That's emotion. You're angry. Is he that triggered by being called emotional?
Don't shit surprise me about the fucking world. And I was extremely surprised to see that amount of fucking. There's nothing I can categorize, label it as outside of fucking evil. Or people that I didn't fucking expect. Even people that I know personally, bro, that I didn't even think have that type of shit in them is out here celebrating a man's death that way.
But that's my point. I get how you feel. I get the whole, you know, like the sensation of like, you know, this world is a dark place and like we can't even negotiate.
I'm not even gonna say the world's a dark place. I'm just saying that part of the world.
But you said you got no hope.
I'm saying there's no hope for these motherfuckers. You may give them hope. I'm not. They could burn.
You can't approach the world's problem from a high.
That's emotional. That's emotional. For him saying, oh, you may have hope, but I don't have hope. These motherfuckers can burn. That's you being emotional. Absolutely. And can we stop? This is coming from this conservative red pill bullshit. Can we stop acting like it is an issue to invoke or not invoke, to show emotion? It's not an issue. Matter of fact, I can make the argument that a lot of people do not see eye to eye because they do not have the empathy and sympathy that they should have. If you know what, if I am being labeled as emotional, then I will take that title with pride. Yes. It is completely okay to be emotional about certain things. Like, first of all, everybody is not stoic. A lot of people are not just stoic robots, and you shouldn't be. You really shouldn't be. Matter of fact, if we had more empathy and sympathy within this country, it would be a better place to live.
Emotional place. And that's what you're doing right now. You're letting the passion and the emotion of the moment govern how you're viewing the world. Yes, you are.
You misquoting me, bro. There is emotion tied to it, bro. I'm a human being. I'm not a fucking machine. But I told you, the reason why I feel comfortable having this perspective on it is because logically I know that there's no way to talk these people out of it. That's a waste of time. That's a waste of effort for what?
What's this logic? This logic that you can't talk people out of extremism.
There's no talking to any of these extremists, these evil motherfuckers, out of their frame of mind until they take their own journey to do it. I'm not gonna sit here wasting my time trying to take them out when they not ready to have that conversation.
If you're not willing or you're not interested in that discussion, that's fine. But saying that there's no way to talk people out of
that's crazy.
Yeah, there is a way. There's a way. I'm just saying I'm not signing up for it. You can. I'm not. Right. I feel good about it because I don't fuck with them. Right. But why would I waste my time talking to someone that there's no point in talking to? It's a logical thing to do. I'm done with this.
But how do you know it's a waste of time talking to them if you don't actually talk to them? Oh my gosh. Wow. Jail. Jail. You going to jail for being this stupid. Jail. Jail, jail, jail. Jail. You going to jail for being dumb. That's just stupid. I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't.
I'm sitting wasting my time. I'm repeating myself, bro. It's like all taken out of context, and he's cherry picking. He's doing the same thing social media does, cherry picking certain things to bring attention to address a fucking point that had nothing to do with the conversation at the end of the day. You know what I mean? The conversation, the debate was about how he minimized Kirk's death and him manufacturing a narrative. Those are my issues, bro. And then he's cherry picking different things to, I guess, have this moral high ground, trying to be on some, Gandhi shit. We can all live in peace together. Nah, bro. Nah, dog. But whatever. Whatever, dog. This shit is fucking. This is whack. You know what I mean? This is whack, and it's whack because it's unexpected from I don't know album. You know what I mean? But, now I'm having a, real shit to base.
Again, ABBA isn't doing anything that he wouldn't usually do.
My opinion on him off of, bro. And this is very disingenuous. He's manufacturing a narrative again. He's taking me out of context, and he's cherry picking things to address in this video.
He is literally just saying things that he heard other people say. Moving the goalposts, taking me out of context, cherry picking, but he doesn't know what any of these fucking things mean. He's just saying them, and his audience eats it up.
Or pretty much irrelevant in our conversation, bro. I mean, I hit bro up on Instagram, dog, so I don't want to do this online. I mean, ain't no beef here, ain't none of that shit. Ain't that fucking serious, dog, but I'm definitely surprised by this, dog, so y'all do with that or y'all will, bro. But you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the attention, dog. I appreciate the views or whatnot. I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? All publicity is good publicity, bro. But, it's giving fake, bro.
It's giving fake. You are the one that just said you didn't know ABBA. You don't have a relationship with him. You don't know him. The extent of your relationship was you hitting him up on Instagram. So how is this being fake? I feel like I need to read tonight or something. I feel like I lost points in my IQ. You know what, Stevie? Let me just say this. Let me just say this, okay? Don't debate, dog. Just don't debate. It's not your forte. It's not. It's not. And while I understand you have fans that are basically like hyping you up and are saying that you won and all that, for the love of God, please do not listen to them. This is not your forte, okay? And that's okay. And that's okay. I don't like debating myself because whenever I talk to somebody or they say something stupid, I'm going to crash out. Ask Logics. I'm going to crash out, okay? And this is coming from somebody that used to previously debate in high school. Like I used to debate in my AP classes all the time. I don't like it because if you say something stupid, I am going to respond in kind. I just don't do it, bro. It's not for you, okay? It's not for you. It's not. Matter of fact, let's look at some of these comments. Oh, wait a minute. Damn, the first one is just take the L, bro. You said what you said. A lot of my problem with this is that you make an argument about something and you get pressed about it, and then you say, I don't care if it does or doesn't happen. It starts to feel like you're fence sitting, or you just don't want to agree. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I don't need to Google that's cap destroyed any and all credibility you had in debate. Brother, let go of that ego. Accept the L. This is all under Stevie's video? Yo, chat, I'm shocked. You went into the debate, no facts, got emotional, and folded. Chat, I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised because I did read the comments and there were a lot of people dick riding in the comments. So for me to see a bunch of negative comments is wild. Oh my gosh.